So today's topic is very important. When I say very, I mean, I don't think people realize. Think about your own parents. Are there things that they did to you and said that to this day have not left you? Stay tuned to why building your child's self-esteem is so important and my 3 top ways on how you can do it. Hey, welcome to Mindful Muslimah Speaks. So glad to have you here. This is the channel where we are empowering women to grow and thrive. We are talking about all those issues that you've been thinking about, but you just wanted to get a little bit more guidance on. If you haven't already, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you know exactly when we're putting out a video like this and you won't miss a beat. I don't think people realize the lack of attention on this subject, but the magnitude of how it affects our children. There are so many great moms out there that want to do the right thing, but they might just be making mistakes that are super critical. And I want to make sure in this channel that we understand the importance of self-esteem for our child, how to build self-esteem, and how that directly leads to the emotional health and well-being of our child. Okay, the first thing I want to talk about is why it's important to focus on our child's self-esteem. Why should this be something I need to do? Because it is. I don't think everybody realizes. This one, should we do it right, could really set our child up well for the future, inshallah. And if we do it wrong, we could seriously harm our child without even knowing it, unconsciously, subhanallah. I mean, what parent would want that for their child? So I don't know if all of you have seen, but I put up an Instagram post that was really powerful. I mean, the information when I found it was powerful to me and I wanted to share it. It's from the psychologist Carl Rogers. And this one is huge. It's actually not just about children. It's about ourselves as women too. And I'm going to paraphrase it here, but we behave the way that we think and feel about ourselves. And so our perception of ourselves is super strong, and our perception is very much attached to self-esteem. And so for your child, it's no different. In other words, I know this sounds weird, but if a child believes they're smart, they're gonna actually act smarter because they're so excited and because they truly have believed it. But if they also think that they're not so smart, they're actually gonna do even worse on tests. So if we're constantly telling our child negative things, like you never listen, you're not well behaved, you don't know how to sit down. If we tell our child you can't, you won't, you don't, that's exactly what they're gonna do more of, which I think is the opposite of what we want them to do as parents. Likewise, if we tell the child, you're so creative, I love the way you always come up with solutions for problems, you are so determined, I love the way that you never give up when there's a problem. So if our child's always hearing these things, either negative or positive, they're naturally gonna follow whatever they believe to be true about themselves. And that goes for us too as adults, guys. Some of us, we don't have a lot of really great thoughts about ourselves, and that's the problem with us too. Somebody hasn't taught us to think these things, to think well. We have low self-esteem, and because of that, we're struggling in relationships with men. We're struggling with our jobs. We're struggling with our marriages. We're struggling to raise our children as we're feeling inadequate. These are things that needed to be instilled with us when we were young, and if it hasn't been instilled in us, that's why we're struggling now. But no worries, that's why we have this channel, to get you back up to speed to where you need to be, inshallah ta'ala. Now, none of us likes to think that we say those things to our child, but in a moment of anger and frustration, we might just have done that. We have to be accountable as parents as to what we are saying to our children and what we're not saying. If we're not encouraging them, or if we're saying things that could be harmful, we are accountable either way as mothers. And also in this sunnah, we believe that the mother is the first school. The first place where the child is going to understand where they are, where they belong in the world, their self-worth, adab, akhlaq, manners, their good character. This is coming from us first, as we're modeling it for them, and they are following either consciously or unconsciously. The child is also very much in the first couple years of their life developing the understanding of their self-worth and where they fit in the world. There are some serious cultural ills that might be harming our children in our community. One of them is the fact that we believe that sometimes we have to shame children into good behavior. Like sometimes I've seen some parents, they think they have to tell their parent that they're stupid or they're fat or they're horrible so they can motivate them to work on that particular thing. So for example, if they tell them that they're not smart, they think that'll make them want to study more. They think if they call them fat, that'll make them want to lose weight. And I know that sounds horrible, but guys, this is happening every day. It's happening every day, and this is something we really have to understand. We are directly harming our child ourselves and thinking we're helping them, but in fact we're doing quite the opposite. Okay, something that's really important to understand is that unconditional love and emotional health go hand in hand. And these are also directly related to self-esteem. A lot of times we put a condition on our love. If this, then. If you pick this up, then mommy's gonna do this. Sometimes we're showing such disappointment, the child might believe that the relationship is at risk. You want a child that has optimum emotional health. You want to make sure that they have high self-esteem, self-worth, and feel unconditionally loved. So I hope that was super helpful for you guys. Jazakallah khair for all the comments and questions. If you don't reach me here, you can also reach me on Instagram. Don't forget to leave a comment or question below on how you help build your child's self-esteem. I'm so interested in your input. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you in the next one.